I finally found the secret to making a small apartment feel luxurious. Have you ever walked into a small apartment and immediately thought, "This place is beautiful, but where does everything go?" That was exactly the feeling this compact Paris studio created at first. It had the charm we expect from an older Parisian home: beautiful proportions, character-filled details, and that unmistakable sense of history. But it also had tight corners, limited storage, and barely enough room for everyday life. Then something became clear. The secret to making a small apartment feel luxurious is not adding more things. It is learning how to make every element feel intentional. At first glance, the apartment has everything you might associate with classic Parisian interiors. There are warm textures, vintage-inspired details, elegant furniture, and soft natural light. But look a little closer, and the limitations become obvious. The sofa seems close to the dining area. The kitchen has very little working surface, and storage appears to be competing with decoration. Yet instead of treating these limitations as problems to hide, the design approach works with them. That is what makes this apartment so interesting. It is not trying to pretend it is a mansion. It is showing us how a small home can feel special on its own terms. When people hear the word luxury, they often imagine expensive materials, enormous rooms, designer furniture, or dramatic chandeliers. But in a small apartment, luxury can mean something much quieter. It can mean opening a cabinet and finding exactly what you need. It can mean walking across the room without bumping into furniture. It can mean sitting beside a window with enough empty space around you to actually relax. In this apartment, luxury begins with organization. The less visual chaos you have to process, the more attention you can give to the beautiful things that remain. The first major lesson is surprisingly simple. Edit the room before decorating it. Small homes often become crowded because we try to solve every problem by buying another item. Need storage? Add a cabinet. Need decoration? Add artwork. Need seating? Add a chair. Eventually, every available surface disappears. This Paris apartment takes the opposite approach. Before adding anything, the designer considers what is truly necessary. Some pieces are removed, others are repositioned, and only the elements that contribute to comfort or character remain. The result is not empty or cold. It feels curated, which is one of the foundations of visual luxury. There is something interesting about a room with fewer better-chosen objects. Each piece gets room to breathe. A beautiful vintage lamp becomes noticeable because there are not 5 other decorations competing with it. A textured sofa looks more sophisticated when it is not surrounded by unnecessary furniture. Even an inexpensive ceramic vase can look elegant when it is placed thoughtfully. This is an important opinion about interior design. Luxury is often perceived through restraint. The goal is not to prove how much you can afford. The goal is to create an environment where every detail feels like it belongs. One reason this apartment feels luxurious is that the design does not fight the architecture. Older Parisian homes often come with details that modern apartments try to recreate. Tall windows, classic trim, elegant doors, traditional proportions, or slightly imperfect surfaces that reveal their age. Instead of covering those details with heavy decoration, the interior allows them to become part of the visual experience. That approach saves money and creates authenticity at the same time. Sometimes the most luxurious feature in a room is already there. You simply have to stop covering it up. Another secret is consistency. A small apartment can feel chaotic when every room seems to speak a different design language. One area might be industrial, another overly modern, and another filled with vintage objects. In a larger home, those transitions may work. In a tiny studio, they can make the space feel fragmented. Here, the colors, materials, and textures are connected. Warm wood relates to the furniture. Soft fabrics complement the walls. Metallic accents repeat quietly throughout the room. Nothing has to match perfectly, but everything feels like part of the same conversation. Color plays a major role in this effect. Rather than covering the apartment with strong contrasting colors, the designer uses a restrained palette of warm neutrals, muted tones, natural wood, and carefully chosen accents. This does not mean the apartment lacks personality. Quite the opposite. Subtle color allows texture and shape to become more important. A linen curtain, aged wood surface, ceramic object, or vintage chair can provide visual interest without making the room feel busy. In a compact home, calm colors create visual continuity, and that continuity can make the apartment feel more spacious and refined. Now we come to something that costs absolutely nothing: natural light. A small apartment can feel dramatically different depending on how light moves through it. Heavy curtains, tall furniture, or excessive decoration near a window can interrupt that flow. In this Paris studio, the windows are treated almost like architectural treasures. Light is allowed to enter freely and travel across the room. Reflective surfaces help distribute it, while lighter fabrics keep the atmosphere soft. The result is a room that feels brighter during the day and more generous than its actual dimensions suggest. Mirrors are another quiet luxury trick, but their placement matters. A mirror randomly attached to a wall may add decoration, but a strategically positioned mirror can create depth and multiply light. Here, the idea is to reflect something worth seeing: a window, a beautiful architectural detail, or an open section of the room. Suddenly, the eye sees another layer of space. It is not physically there, of course, but visually it expands the room. This is a perfect example of why good interior design is not simply about buying beautiful objects. It is about understanding what those objects do to the way we experience a room. One of the biggest mistakes in a small apartment is choosing furniture based only on whether it technically fits. A sofa may fit against a wall, but that does not mean it belongs there. A dining table may fit between two areas, but if everyone has to squeeze around it, the room will never feel comfortable. In this apartment, furniture placement appears to follow the natural movement of the space. Pathways remain clear, proportions feel balanced, and each piece has a purpose. That creates a subtle sense of order, and order is one of the qualities our brains often associate with luxury. There is another point worth making here, especially for anyone who has ever visited a beautiful home that was uncomfortable to live in. Luxury should not mean fragile. A sofa should invite you to sit down. A dining chair should support you comfortably. Lighting should help you read rather than simply look impressive. Storage should make daily life easier. This apartment succeeds because its elegance does not come at the expense of usability. The design feels sophisticated, but it still feels like a home. And honestly, what good is beautiful design if you cannot comfortably enjoy it? Storage is where many small apartments lose their battle. When there is nowhere to put everyday objects, the room gradually becomes a display of everything you own. Books, appliances, clothing, cables, shoes, bags, and household supplies begin occupying every available surface. The solution here is to make storage as invisible as possible. Cabinets blend with the architecture, drawers take advantage of unused areas, and multifunctional furniture quietly absorbs everyday necessities. Once the practical objects disappear from sight, the decorative elements become more powerful. The room suddenly feels calmer, cleaner, and most importantly, more luxurious. But there is a fine line between organized and sterile. A truly luxurious home should still tell us something about the person who lives there. That is why this apartment does not hide everything. Books remain visible. Artwork has a place. Vintage objects add personality. Textiles bring softness. The difference is that these objects have been edited. They are displayed intentionally rather than scattered everywhere. This creates an important balance. Practical clutter is hidden, while meaningful personality stays visible. That is a much more human definition of luxury. The home should feel collected, not empty. When floor space is limited, the walls become incredibly valuable. Instead of filling the floor with additional cabinets and shelves, the designer uses vertical space to draw the eye upward. Tall curtains emphasize the height of the windows. Shelving uses wall area rather than precious floor space. Artwork is positioned to reinforce the apartment's vertical proportions. This changes the way the room feels. Your eyes travel upward instead of stopping at the floor level, and suddenly the ceiling seems higher. It is a small psychological trick, but in a compact apartment, these little tricks can make a remarkable difference. The kitchen is often the hardest part of a small apartment to make luxurious because it contains so many practical objects. Appliances, dishes, cookware, food, and cleaning supplies all need somewhere to go. Yet the kitchen here avoids becoming visually overwhelming. Surfaces remain relatively clear, storage is organized, and finishes connect with the rest of the apartment. The kitchen feels like part of the home rather than a separate utility zone. That is an important lesson. Luxury does not require a huge marble kitchen. It requires a kitchen where function and appearance have been thoughtfully balanced. In a compact studio, the sleeping area presents another challenge. Build a solid wall, and the apartment may suddenly feel divided into tiny compartments. Leave everything completely open, and the bedroom may feel exposed. The solution is somewhere in between. A partial divider, curtain, furniture arrangement, or change in texture can establish a sense of separation without sacrificing openness. This apartment uses that principle to preserve both privacy and light. It reminds us that boundaries do not always have to be physical. Sometimes a visual boundary is enough to make a space feel organized. One of the most overlooked design elements is empty space. We tend to think of an empty corner as wasted potential, especially when our homes are small. But negative space is exactly what allows beautiful furniture and architecture to stand out. Leave enough room around a chair, and it suddenly looks intentional. Give a table breathing room, and the entire dining area feels more elegant. Keep a countertop clear, and the kitchen appears larger. In this apartment, empty space is not accidental. It is part of the design, and perhaps that is one of the most convincing forms of luxury, having enough visual breathing room to relax. The apartment also demonstrates how modern convenience can coexist with vintage Parisian charm. There is no need to turn a historic-looking apartment into a time capsule. Modern lighting, practical storage, contemporary appliances, and comfortable furniture can sit alongside traditional details beautifully. The trick is balance. When modern elements are too dominant, the apartment can lose its character. When vintage elements overwhelm everything else, the home may feel like a museum. Here, the two eras support each other. The old provides soul, while the new provides comfort. Together, they create something more interesting than either style alone. Sometimes the transformation comes from details that are easy to overlook. Hardware on a cabinet, the shape of a lamp, the texture of a curtain, the frame around a mirror, or the finish of a small table can influence the entire atmosphere. These details do not have to be expensive. What matters is consistency and intention. When several small choices point in the same direction, the room begins to feel cohesive. That is why a simple apartment can sometimes look more sophisticated than a much more expensive one. The difference is not always the price tag. It is the thought behind the choices. If I had to identify the real secret after looking at everything in this apartment, I would not choose marble designer furniture or even the beautiful Parisian architecture. I would choose intentionality. Almost nothing feels accidental. The furniture has a reason for being there. The colors support one another. The storage protects the calm atmosphere. The light is allowed to work. The vintage details are respected. Even the empty areas have a purpose. That is why the apartment feels luxurious. It gives the impression that someone carefully considered how every part of the home should make you feel. The wonderful thing about these ideas is that they are not limited to Paris. You can apply them to a small apartment in London, a compact home in Toronto, a studio in Sydney, or a modest living space anywhere in the world. Start by removing what you do not need. Protect natural light. Choose furniture carefully. Use mirrors intelligently. Take advantage of vertical space. Hide practical clutter. Keep meaningful objects visible. And most importantly, create a home around the way you actually live. Luxury becomes much more attainable when you stop thinking about what a luxurious home is supposed to look like and start thinking about what a luxurious home should feel like. By the end of this apartment tour, something interesting happens. The rooms have not magically become larger, but they feel different. There is more calm. There is better movement. The architecture has more presence. The furniture feels intentional rather than crowded. The vintage character feels stronger because it is no longer competing with unnecessary decoration. That is the real transformation. Good design does not always change the measurements of a room. Sometimes it changes our relationship with those measurements. And once you understand that, a small apartment stops feeling like a limitation and starts becoming an opportunity to design with greater care. After exploring this compact Paris studio, I think we finally have an answer to the question: what makes a small apartment feel luxurious? It is not simply expensive furniture, fashionable decoration, or having more space. It is restraint, comfort, thoughtful organization, beautiful light, meaningful details, and the confidence to leave some things out. The most luxurious room may be the one where you can breathe, move easily, find what you need, and genuinely enjoy being there. And perhaps that is the secret this little Paris apartment was quietly teaching us all along. You do not need a bigger home to live beautifully. You need a home where every detail has a purpose.